All right, good morning, everyone. We are live. Got through the tsunami warning yesterday, but we are here and we got Curtis, PE turned RE, and Jack's Business Talk. So, morning, fellas.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, how you guys been? Anything exciting in your guys' area going on recently? Not much.
Oh, same old, trying to avoid the tsunamis in Pittsburgh.
All right. Well, this is going to be an interesting one because it's Curtis has been doing a lot of stuff. He has a lot on his plate right now. He's a new agent. He's still an investor. He's a house hacker. He's got his YouTube channel. I see him doing a lot of social media stuff. So I think Jack wanted to pick Curtis's brain on how does he juggle all of this, right? Is that what you want to know, Jack?
Yeah, how do you juggle all of it? How is studying for the real estate exam? Just all the good fun stuff.
Yeah, so one way to I juggle it all is I kind of got a little bit more alignment. So last year I was doing the house hacking thing, I was doing the social media thing, I was doing the teaching thing, and I also had like a private coaching business on the side where I would train like youth athletes from around the area, which that was awesome. But it pulled me away from other stuff. Right, it wasn't really connected. There's no way for me to monetize in multiple spots. So this year, I was like, okay, while I love to coach, I'll just do it at the school. I'll cut out like the business side of it, and I'll
Mhm.
get the license, and I'll kind of integrate and align all of my stuff going the same direction. So, be it the investment side, the agent side, it's all kind of going the same way. So that way, all the activities I do are in more in alignment with that.
I know part of this is Jack. I think you're also trying to figure out what direction you want to head into, right? So I think you've talked about it before. You're kind of looking at your job as you're kind of one foot out the door, right? Or maybe they're pushing you out the door in a sense, right? So are you trying to figure out what your plans are and what you want to put on your plate also?
Yeah, I'm kind of being pushed out. I can really realistically see like I probably have less than 2 years there. So, and it's gonna be one of those situations where it's not gonna be like, okay, well, here's your severance package. It's gonna be like those make my life so miserable, that they'll try to just make me quit. So I'm trying to pay off a bunch of bad debt or what's left of it, and I already started doing a little bit of handyman work and stuff, and landscaping and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that once you know it comes to the point that I'm being pushed out the door, that I already got my real estate license and a little bit of experience, maybe. So the transition will be a lot easier because here's the thing: it's like I know I can go out and get another production job, but if I'm going to be forced out the door to start all over, I would rather do something that I would much rather enjoy and have more flexibility and control my schedule somewhat than to keep doing what I've been doing and be in the same boat again in like less like 5 years or so.
Mhm.
So is that the plan then? The license is for sure on the table then?
Yeah, I think the license is for sure on the table. I think I want to try and do like what Dylan's doing, where he does handyman and works as an agent. Because like honestly, once I have, because here's the thing is, it's like once I have like the looming debt paid off, it's like my bills at that point would be, I don't know, like I'm not including the mortgages in this, obviously for the rentals, but my bills would be less than like, I don't know, 1,600 a month, and I think that's very easily achievable.
Mhm.
So it's
Now,
like I would just need realistically 4K, And the only reason why I couldn't just go live off the rental properties at that point is just because I'm trying to get Cynthia out of her job too. So
Yeah, and have you kind of done the math working like backwards on what your price point is, how how many deals you'd have to do?
I think it's I think it's like 3 deals is what I calculated. 3 more deals to get us to financial independence.
Hmm. Is
And
is
honestly,
that you both?
what's that?
Is that you both, or is it just her?
That's both of us, I think, when I did the math. And honestly, because here's what I was thinking is I'd like to try and do the 3 before I leave my current job and wait a year and cash out my 401k, and I should be able to buy 4 more with just that.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis, so what has been the biggest struggle, I guess, for you? I mean, like you said, you put a lot on your plate, kind of rather quickly. I don't know what you finally decided on. Are you still looking possibly out of state investing? Or are you gonna still do it in your backyard? So, what has been the biggest struggle?
So right now, kind of the focus is on the agent side, is because while I love to invest, it's kind of hard to do it if you don't have cash on hand, right? And so I've been trying to focus on the active income side because as a teacher, I can look at a chart for the next 30 years. I can see what I'm going to make, right? Like it lays it out. Okay, if I get this amount of education, I work for this long. This is like the paycheck at the end of the day. Whereas, okay, which that's great, and I've been kind of able to house hack like that. I need to increase the active income so I have a little bit more options. That way, I can increase the speed. And so the hurdle for me has been learning the new skills that it takes to become like a good agent, like a lot of like the marketing like side of things. Because for an investor, I've been mostly doing like the MLS or wholesalers. But if you're an agent, you kind of got to make your own leads.
So, how's that experience been going so far? I know you're putting a lot of time in it. I see you kind of marketing yourself really well. How's the lead funnel going right now?
Yeah, it's going okay. Actually, about to start a geo farm campaign. Me and my broker had kind of discussed on okay, what area do I really want to hone in on, and I found an area near my school actually, and I'm targeting folks with high equity and mostly for for the agent side. Now, if an investment property pops up during that outreach, great, but I actually have about 300 homes that I'm going to send mail to this week and go door knock, and I'm actually really excited to kind of get the ball like rolling there. The first month of having the license has been more learning what an agent actually does. Right? It's not just show homes or open the door for somebody.
So, how do you think this is all going to work when teaching, when school gets back in session?
Yeah, so I'm kind of building the business from once school starts. What is actually going to be like manageable? Because I didn't want to build a business around like cold calling where I had to do that every single day. While cold calling is great and it works, once school starts, what's the likelihood I can make those amount of calls, right? And so I was like, okay, well, if I do direct mail, it might cost a little bit more, but it's going to be that more passive side where I can send a mailer every month. And then I can also do open houses, which are nights and like the weekends. And then around the open houses, you kind of use those not to get the business per se, but you use the open house as an opportunity to go door knock and talk to the people that are around the open house.
I love that. I think you have a good runway for you, good plan. So Jack, I guess what's your kind of timeline? I mean, like your work. I know you've talked about it quite a bit. So, like I said, Jack's YouTube channel is also in the chat. So go please subscribe. He's always talking about. Are you still doing the daily lives or whatnot?
I do lives Monday, Wednesday, Friday, probably for just this week, and next week I'm trying something new out.
So what's
So
your
so the lives would
timeline for things, like your license and everything? Do you have a timeline for that?
I'd like to be getting my license by the end of the year, so I can start trying to do it next year. Like
And
maybe, like maybe right, like maybe right as the ORAD event is, I could be, finishing up the final touches and start selling.
now talking about that, the ORAD event also, like talking about being busy, lots of things on your plates. How is the Pittsburgh kind of ORAD meetup coming along right now?
I got, I still have 3 phone calls left, but so this is the one thing I haven't quite figured out is, so Friday we're probably going to do the Gateway Clipper. It's going to be like late afternoonish, like somewhere between 2 and 4 o'clock. And Saturday we're going to do the bus, and we're going to drive through about half the city. The investment parts of it, and we'll stop for the place for pierogies. I forget the name of it. Then we'll go ahead up on after we're done there, go up on Duquesne or Mount Washington, and you guys can see the city at night. And then Sunday, which is the last phone call I need to make, I was thinking about having us do a tour for the Mexican War streets. They're doing a historical tour where they take you in some of the older houses and stuff, and they give us a tour of some of them. I forget what the hours are, like 11 to 5 or something, but I know I'm not as familiar with the Mexican War Streets one, but I know other ones. It's not so much that's what you're doing the entire time. It's just, hey, these are the hours, and you just kind of work through at your own pace, and whenever you're through, you're done. And it usually just takes
Oh,
like couple hours.
what does Pittsburgh consider old? Is it like stone houses, or what's old in Pittsburgh?
Something like the Flintstones era.
Yeah, from when Mark was a kid.
Whoa,
Um,
easy now.
I mean, there's some like houses you can find from even like the 1700s. I haven't encountered any of them. I'm sure I've maybe been in them though. But I honestly think probably like the stuff I have is probably the oldest realistically you're gonna see, which is like mid to late 1800s, and most commonly you're gonna like your stuff is like like the World War II era, like the 1920s to the 40s
Mhm.
through up even in the modern times. Like for example, where Cynthia's at, her whole house and like that whole area where she's at, all the houses were built in the same time or the same time, which like span of 5 years. So I think they started building in 77 and they finished up in 82.
Mm.
And so there's tons of that, and there's tons of newer builds too, like less than like a few years old. So it just depends on what you're looking for,
Yes,
and that
sir.
would tell you where you kind of need to go.
Mm.
Mm. So Curtis, kind of like you say, juggling all these things on your plate right now. Even you, Jack, is there any tools that you found that's very helpful in juggling all of this, or even getting your license? What's been the kind of
A hammer.
eye-opening moment for you as far as kind of what you didn't expect when you got your license?
Yeah, I think one thing that's been helpful is linking all the Google calendars, right? Like I'm sure folks have one for their job. I'm sure folks have like a personal one, but making sure they're all intertwined. Like I've definitely had this happen where I look at my calendar and I have 3 things at 6:30, and I'm like, okay, okay, which one of these is actually the important one, and which one of these is like the I wish I could go to? And so That's probably more for like networking events, not necessarily like appointments that I've set, but it's trying to figure out, okay, what's the most important thing or who's the most important people, and making sure that they get a spot in that calendar.
I wonder if we're having a little bit of connection problems because of the tsunami warning out on this side. So um, I keep losing connection, but I think we're okay. But yeah, so if everyone doesn't know, there was the earthquake off of Russia. There was tsunami warnings out in the islands of Hawaii. So my area is all good. But yeah, so and I think some of the other islands did it get affected quite a bit. But yeah, so I mean, same thing with juggling a lot of things. You know, I had shoulder surgery. What's today now? So I had shoulder surgery on Monday. Finally got a little bit feeling back in my arm yesterday, so it was kind of numb. So now I'm starting to feel a little bit of pain, but same thing. Like I was gonna try and kill two birds with one stone. I was gonna use the cold compression machine while we were doing the live, but the damn thing wouldn't work. So there went that idea because I'm supposed to use it like twice a day for like 80 minutes at a sitting. So but yeah, I think that's the other thing too, right? Even like I'm not sure what because you don't have an iPhone, right, Kurt? Both of you don't have iPhones, right?
No.
Mm,
No.
right. So that is like one thing. Like it syncs so easily with all your
Mhm.
devices, right? So that's why maybe like the Androids or certain phones might have better features overall, but that Apple ecosystem makes things so easy to use, man. So that's what I find. Even like scheduling these lives and connecting things and even messaging folks, man, it's super helpful. Let's see. Yeah, Nick, if you're here, please subscribe. But yeah, you can ask your question. Yeah, we're pretty much open, but we're just right now we're kind of talking about kind of juggling life. Putting a lot of things on our plate. All of us trying to reach financial independence and whatnot, and kind of navigate our situations. And we're all kind of at different points in our lives right now, and kind of just juggling different things. Like Curtis has put a lot on his plate right now, and I think it's going to be interesting to see when school starts back up. That's going to be the interesting thing to see how he's going to navigate that when the school kicks back. And when the school start again, Curtis, for your teaching.
Yeah, I think we have a like a back to school teacher training thing. I think like August 19th or 20th, like that week, and then the following week, school will actually start. But the reason I kind of am going more towards like the direct mail and the open houses route is so that way once school starts, I kind of have like a system that I can do in place. Now I'm really curious because that first part of school, I actually don't coach the sport. There's no fall sport that I do at my school, so I'll actually be off at 2 o'clock. But once the winter comes, I'm not going to be off until like 4:30. So I'm going to have to kind of tweak things once I get to that point. But um, I'm actually very excited. I think it will lead to some long days, but and that's okay. It's just me.
Has there been any deal that has come across your table as an agent that you have clients and you're like, should I hold on to this for myself or do I present it to the clients? Has that happened for you yet?
It has not happened yet. I'm sure at some point I will cross that bridge where it's like, okay, what do I do here? Um, and thank goodness, so my designated bro- broker, they're also investors, and so I'm sure they've also had that. So when that time comes, I'm going to lean on them and say, okay, what do I do? Do I take the deal myself? Do I give it to the client? Exactly how does this work here?
So what about you, Jack? What else is on the plate for you? Because I know there is people looking in Butler area where you invest, right?
Hmm.
And I feel like it's hard to find property managers for that area. So is that kind of something you're looking at as maybe taking on people that want to invest from the ORAC community in Butler and kind of being boots on the ground property manager for them?
I don't know, because like in order to do property management here, it's not just to have a real estate license in PA, it's to have a brokerage license, and I don't know if I really want all the extra liabilities and everything that comes with it here. So I thought of a couple workarounds, if that makes sense, where I can do like this. But I think the big thing is, and this is where I want to talk to you a little bit off camera, is there's another person that wants to do potentially do a video, and I was going to talk to them, answer a few of their questions. But one of the things they're talking about was property management. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? You Mark, do both. You manage in-house and you have property management. So, and I was going to throw in my 2 cents on how you can manage with assistance, and that way, as long like you could have someone else do your showings and all that kind of stuff. But like you're going to have to try and get, you can lay your lease out, have the tenants call, you know, your your plumbers, your electricians, and all that kind of stuff. Like there's workarounds so that you're not as hands on, but you're still self managing, if that makes sense. So that's what. So that's something that I was thinking about.
Uh,
Maybe I don't know.
Jay, I actually think you're kind of going down a good path here because I'm not sure exactly the laws where you're at, but if you have to have your license and your broker's one on top of that to be a property and like manager, that may not be worth it. But if you can just get the agents like license, then you can actually work with Henlin, and you can be like the leasing agent or the showing agent, or you can kind of like have a property management side, but without needing that next step up, because then you're not the PM, you're the agent through Hemlane, and so you kind of
Yeah,
do both through that route.
yeah, that's kind of more along the lines I was thinking of, and just maybe walk the people through kind of like what I do and self managing, because like I get very few phone calls, and it's not because I don't care or that I'm like, no, don't ever call me. No, I've there's a few people in the school community that I've listened to, combining it with what Dion does. So my phone calls are very few and far in between. And honestly, I wouldn't mind doing leasing.
I think also, Jack, you being busy also too is part of, because you resolved that terracotta plumbing situation on one of your properties? Have you figured out how you're going to navigate through that?
Excuse me. They're digging today.
Okay, so I thought, so did you, what happened to the idea of you doing the digging? I thought that was some way you were thinking about saving some cost and whatnot.
I was thinking about that, and I have some other projects lined up with the handyman stuff that I can get done actually quicker. That would actually pay for them to go dig it up. That would save me from having to dig it. And kind of the icing on the cake was I was planning on digging it. I showed up waiting for the laborer to show up. He never showed up. Did it a second time with a different day laborer. He never showed up. I was like, well, I'm not digging this whole thing by myself. So that's when I just switched and told the plumber that he can go ahead and dig it all up. I was like, I'm not gonna waste day. I was like, I already wasted 2 days. I could have literally almost did enough work to almost have paid for the whole thing. So that was my big decision.
So, Curtis, now that you have your license, it's been how long now? Oh,
Just over a month.
okay. So if it came down to it, and let's say you're doing what, if you had to give up teaching being a real estate agent, what would you give up if you didn't have the time to do both?
If I didn't have the time to do both, then that means the Asian side is doing very well. And so the kind of the ultimate goal is at some point I will give up the teaching side of things, but I'll still coach though. That's
Okay.
that that's kind of the ultimate goal is do the Asian side, have the investments, and then still coach so I can still be involved with the youth in the community, but drop the teaching.
So, what would you say maybe is the best characteristic or trait that you see an agent would need to succeed? What do you think?
You kind of got to be a self starter at the end of the day because you pass that test, and then they congratulate you, and then you're now an agent, but you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so you got to watch the YouTube channels, you got to read books, you got to find a brokerage, you got to get trained with the broker. There's all these steps that you got to do to understand even what your job is, what you're trying to do, what business model that and you want, right? But if you're just the more of an employee side, like that's more of what I'm used to. It's not like you just show up and they hand you work. You have to go out there and create in your own work, which has been kind of like a learning curve.
What do you, so I have my license. I'm in Hawaii,
Mhm.
kind of a high cost of living area. Housing cost is expensive. And my biggest struggle was always that I feel like buying real estate in Hawaii can be a trap, right? It's kind of, if you're not doing it the right way, it can really handcuff you for the next 30 years, right? So is that something kind of you face also? Because you're kind of in a high price point market also, right? So when you're dealing with
Mhm.
people that are looking to buy a home, is that where you kind of struggle a little bit when you're trying to convince them to maybe house hack or buy below what they can actually afford and whatnot, right?
Yeah, so when working with the buyers, it's sometimes that they don't even realize that they can get into a home with so like a, a little down, right? Like in Washington State, we have tons of down payment assistant programs that folks have no idea about. If they do want to put cash down, they don't even know that they can put 3.5, 5% down. They all think they just need this treasure chest of cash on hand. I'm like, that's not really the case. And a lot of folks are unsure, like, oh, I'll wait for rates, right? But it's just because they're not understanding really how like the real estate market works, right? We as investors know that when rates do come down at some point, that the prices are going to get crazy, right? It's going to get more competitive because more people are in the market. So it's just really kind of trying to teach them the things that we already know, right? Just from watching the daily financial news. But a lot of people aren't really tapped in to that. So it's kind of just a lot of educating, right? The same way I educate kids in the class, I have to do so with my buyers.
So, Jack, for you, if you were to get your license in Pittsburgh, what do you think would be the biggest challenge for you? So, like, me and Curtis are dealing with that kind of dilemma of, we are investor minded. We're in a market that's high cost of living. We're trying to convince people like this may not be the best purchase, right, for you in a sense. So, what do you think would be the biggest struggle for you if you got your license in Pittsburgh?
I'm not really sure. I guess I guess for me, honestly, the biggest struggle would be to try and get the ball rolling, you know, because it's like being a self starter. That part's easy. I honestly think the biggest thing is just being like likable, and I know that that sounds weird because you guys see me all the time, but the thing is sometimes or a lot of time that I kind of get it. I kind of come off sometimes in a like a more abrasive manner because like if I see something, I'm going to just say it, and I get accused sometimes of being mean. It's just like no, I actually care, and you're just not liking what I have to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't see that from you. I mean, maybe with other people you act that way, but I don't really notice that, I would say. Hey, Proof Oak is here. Yes, I'm gonna have Nick, who was just on Zuber's channel recently, talking about selling his rental properties to buy Bitcoin, and he was doing some call. Like I think he took out a HELOC. He put all the money down on Bitcoin, but yeah, he's a teacher also in California, but he's gonna be on Saturday. So yes, I do have a crypto person coming on this Saturday. Flavio says, Curtis, a kid in my area did tons of advertising and right now is a #1 on listings. Advertising is key. So do you have a
Yeah.
pitch right now, Curtis? What would be your pitch right now for?
No. So as far as the advertising goes, that is one thing that I'm having to train myself to understand. Because for the advertising side, it's a lot of cash that has to go out, right? And you don't really see the return, even if it works, right? Even if a phone call, even if a letter, even if a commercial works and you get something under contract, it's still going to be 30 to 60 days until you get paid, right? So it's something that I'm having to work on is understanding it's okay to send things out or to spend time with the advertising side and understanding that you may not even see the return for a couple months. And the reason I'm doing the letters or the mail, while it is a little bit more expensive, it's also a little bit more personal too, right? And I know that when they give me a call, they're raising in their hand and saying, "Hey, I'm interested in this, and this is something that I can continue throughout the school year when I have less time."
Do you think your YouTube channel helped you at all on the real estate with your kind of clients and whatnot?
Yeah, so not necessarily like the YouTube directly, but the clips that I pull from it and post it on social actually have. I've probably had at least three or four within the last month either leave a comment or I send it or they sent me like a DM saying, "Oh, you're still in like real estate, telling me about X, Y, or Z," or they're interested in buying, and I have a clip talking about some type of program, and so it's actually been helpful on the social and media side to still kind of be top of mind.
You sure they weren't wondering why you're afraid of birds? Like nobody has ever questioned you on that yet?
No, the bird topic has not come out. Now it'd be interesting if I went for an appointment and they had birds in the house. I'm not really sure what I would do then.
But like I said, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't subscribed yet, there's Curtis's channel and Jack's channel in the chat, so go please subscribe. Flavio also says letters are expensive. Do some radio commercials or digital billboards. Well, I know I had Tampa Bree on here recently.
Mhm.
She is just killing it out there. I mean, is
Yeah.
that something we can expect from you? Some skit comedy type of showing of homes, you think?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do the same comedy that Bree does, still being a public school employee. So I kind of have to toe that line. But definitely more content will come out. So I'm starting the geo farm, and then I'm gonna start doing open houses in that area. And so I kind of have to figure out how am I going to put my personal spin on it, but also stay within the boundaries of being appropriate. Because kids do know my YouTube channel. They know my social media. It's kind of weird. Like, oh, I have a new follower and it's some kid in my class or whatever, which is very cool. But I have to be cognizant of that too.
Yeah, that is true. Good point.
You
Good
can just
point.
crack jokes instead of like Bree being like, you can go to like a war zone property and crack jokes like, yeah, and this is being about as profitable as that test last week that everyone failed.
Yeah.
So Jack, I know, you kind of talk about it on your channel, your lives, like you said, your W-2, you kind of feel like they're pushing you out the door a little bit and whatnot, or you see the writing on the wall. And you post about it in school quite a bit too. I mean, so like, how do you maybe protect your energy or stay focused right now?
I don't think that there really is any like anything I'm doing to really protect it so much as I just drink more coffee. Like you get tired, you drink more coffee. You get unmotivated, you listen to something like David Goggins. You start to feel depressed, and you suppress the depression with more coffee, so you don't feel it until you just get through what you have to do, and you just keep, you know, like I don't know. I'm in a moment right now where it's just that the number one thing is to keep grinding and keep taking steps forward, and anything that's not moving the ball forward is just wasting time.
Do you feel I know you've always spoke about the one rental at a time community, kind of finding your tribe. How has the school community also helped with that? It seems like, like I said, like if you're feeling stuck in a rut or whatnot, you seem to post quite a bit about like staying focused and what you're working on and maybe the dreams and whatnot. Has the comments through there also helped you?
I like the community just to so I like the community because it's like you have other people that are all in the same boat as us, and it makes you just feel as though like there's other people in this, So like you're not by yourself on an island, and like there's other people that are working to get to the same goal, even with the same or harder things that they're going through in the moment. So it's yeah, it definitely helps.
Curtis Flavio says, if you focus on an expensive area, you will need to sell two a year. Is that kind of your vision, you think?
Yeah, so I do have friends that sell in the Seattle or the Bellevue area where the median price point's at like $1 million plus. It's more that luxury side. And while that's a great goal, the price point that my area currently is between 500 and 550 probably will be the range. That's solely because I'm trying to make my life as easy as possible, right? So I chose the area around my school so during the school year, I don't have to feel like, okay, I have to drive an hour north to go to a more expensive area and potentially be late or have traffic issues, right? I was trying to make it as easy as possible. And so the the goal is to obviously work towards those more expensive areas, like Flavio was talking about. But if I can be successful in my little geo farm, I can get enough traction and deals that way I can leave the teaching realm and then branch out to other areas. Because for Pierce County, the median is around like 590, 580. But if you go to King County, then you really start to see it go up a lot.
So I just had Justin Canberra on my channel recently. He was talking about the DADUs or detached ADUs, and that's really big. Is that kind of the areas you're working in? Does those bills and kind of policies impact where you're focusing on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Justin is based out of King County, and they've had these laws for a couple of years now. And the really cool part is now in my county, Pierce, we're starting able to do what King County and Seattle's been able to do, right? Where you can parcel out or subdivide, and it gets its own tax and number things like that, which is awesome. And so, with that said, though, because it is newer to certain areas in Pierce County, you're having to learn what that process is for that town, right? Like Seattle has had it for years. Tacoma, There's a pretty easy system there. But the more like rural that you get, it's kind of newer. So I'm intrigued to see how people do it there, where the systems may not be well ingrained.
Yeah, Justin is very, very knowledgeable, and he'll be back on next week. I think he wants to kind of do some regular stuff. So I think I'm finding people like you folks, kind of willing to do this on a little bit more consistent basis. Sounds like I might be out another 3 to 5 months for my shoulder, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm having fun with it. Definitely getting closer to that 1,000. Some people may not have heard yet, but once I hit that 1,000, I'll probably do some sort of giveaway or live stream with some giveaways. I'm thinking about giving away a ticket for the ORAD event, so someone can go, and maybe some extra prizes of Dion's book or something, like some consolation prizes. But I'll figure it out once I get a little bit closer and kind of talk about it. But yeah, the community is great. I know the ORAT tickets are going to go on sale in a few days. Sounds like August 1st, I believe. I forget. Did you guys do VIP last year? I forget.
Me,
I,
no.
I
No, Jack,
I
did you?
didn't. I'm probably not even gonna do VIP this year either. Especially if Cynthia's coming with me.
Is she for sure coming? Is that 100%? I know you spoke on it before.
I'm gonna buy her. I'm gonna buy her ticket, and if she doesn't come, then she can pay me back.
Yeah, I hope everyone's getting excited. I think he's mentioned some of the speakers, I believe, right? And I think in the school community, he's going to be doing kind of a meet the speakers. So for those Sunday lives, I think there's going to be opportunities for people to get to know some of the speakers a lot better. So yeah, it should be a good event. I think I'm kind of excited. I don't know if you guys seen also Carlos's son, Luke, is going to be coming up with some maybe merchandise ideas for this year's event. So Luke is the one that did the custom ORAT shoes for Zuber. So they've been talking about trying to figure out some ways to maybe make some more items for sale, kind of custom items for the event and whatnot. So we'll see
Mhm.
how that plays out. So I'm going to see if I can get some custom Crocs too. But
Yeah, trying to do some stuff because while the ORAT is great and I'm looking forward to the event, I almost feel now I know no one's actually like doing this, so but it feels like hey, I have to have accomplished something since the last one. I have to have something to talk about, like what progress that I've made. I know that's not the reality, but that's just how it feels.
do you feel that way too, Jack?
I don't know. I kind of feel that way, but I don't feel that way at the same time because it's like even if like you don't actually officially in our minds make progress towards the next place and score the next deal, what did you do in the past 365 day or yes 365 days that put you in a better position for your financial independence and freedom? So like you know i I mean I may or may not find a deal between now and then, or I should say score on a deal, but I could say, hey, in order to get to my financial independence, I knocked out this X amount of dollars in bad debt. I started up the landscaping handyman business, which is bringing in X amount of dollars. And and I went ahead and got a real estate license in the process. So I mean, I'm taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that's all good points. I think, like even Curtis kind of says, nobody's going to judge you if you didn't, but at the same time, in a fun way, people will probably nudge you a little bit and kind of, you know, of course, not me. I'm not going to say anything. And,
Oh, I'll judge. I'm the judging type.
KC who just tuned in. So aloha, KC. Maybe he'll be out of California by that time. He's looking at Vegas, looking at testing the waters there. He really kind of, for some reason, I mean, I know why, but he's really trying to figure out why he wants to get out of California and see how Vegas is. Yep, Charles McCune says a community of encouragement and advice. Yep. I really like that model that Zuber's kind of rolling with right now. Yeah, right? The everyday wealth builders, the school community. So I really think that's very fitting. And it's very interesting to see how I like that there's just so much different kind of strategies, different personalities, right? Everyone's doing something different, but like Jack touched on earlier, everyone's kind of focused down the same path, though, right? Everyone's doing it a different way, but they're kind of ending up in the same end goal, right? So that's super interesting, and everyone's super very supportive over there. Let's see what else we got here. I know you guys are both busy. How do you so like
I
how you guys? Oh,
I
go,
got a
go ahead,
question
Jack.
for you guys. This is just I just want to hear your opinions on this. So one of the biggest things that's holding me back with everything that's going on is the fact that I work night shift, and I haven't yet went back and talked to anyone. But if I had the chance to switch to daylight, it would get me my sleep schedule and stuff on a more daylight schedule. Obviously, if I was able to do that, now granted, the people are more insufferable to deal with. But if I'm only going to be there for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years at most, is it something that is worth doing? Or I mean, what do you guys think?
From a health side, I will say that night shift workers have terrible outcomes. Actually, it actually puts you at a higher risk for basically every bad health outcome is being like a night shift guy. And so
Uh-huh.
just mainly from that point, like, okay, yes, it is 2 years, but what's that 2 years really impacting y- in your body, right?
Plus,
Like
I've been on night shift for like 7 years or so, but at this point, maybe even like closer to 10, and I'm
mhm.
just over it.
Yeah, yeah. And so, from the physical standpoint, from the mental standpoint, I think if it's possible to shift to the day shift, e- even though they may be insufferable to work with, it might actually help you.
Because here's the thing too, and like you're saying, like like I enjoy going hunting and fishing and stuff, for example. And anytime I want to go, I have to take off an entire shift. Where it's just if I was on daylight, I could just go. Or even like a lot of stuff, trying to get stuff done, you know, other projects and stuff. I can move faster if I was on daylight and not waking up at like 10 or 11 o'clock. Or sorry, and that's the thing. I work a split schedule, so like I'll be 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off. So it's like the first day I'm off is always a waste. You don't get up till like 2 o'clock or so. Whereas if I was already on daylight, I'd be waking up probably my normal time would be like 5 a.m. or something. I could actually be starting at 8.
Yeah, Craig Lessler, he's in Arizona, but he does invest in Pittsburgh. He says, Jack, you may want to try using a real estate license to be a leasing agent for a property management company. Yep. JLD Systems. So Jeff says night shift sucks, and then Joe B says I miss night shift. So, I think night shift is it's fun. It's great, but I think from a health perspective, like Curtis is saying, right, it does you don't realize it, and even for me being in the firehouse, just waking up for those calls, right? Just in the middle of the night, you're sleeping and you got to wake up, and then you try to come back and go back to sleep or whatever. But yeah, like you're saying, people don't realize how every call you wake up for, you're taking away from your life in a sense. And that's even more so why I'm probably 1 foot out the door. And people may have heard on the other stream, the plan is by end of next year I'll probably step away from the firehouse. I mean, that's kind of my plan right now. Jovi says, as you're saying, Jack, you have to weigh the pros and cons, both both what can be done and any financial costs. Jeff says, yeah, it's really hard, but you need to lock in your sleep hours. Yep. Lynn says, I worked night shift 2 years, I hated it. Yep. So Lynn kind of talked about that too, kind of finding her peace, stepping away from a job that paid probably a lot more to finding one that suits her lifestyle. and she's doing a lot more real estate stuff. So she's killing it. I think she just posted on her channel. I'll try to put her YouTube channel, but I think she just talked about a burr she just completed. I want to say it was the title kind of was she made 50K or something. I got it, but I'll try to find her channel there and put it in the chat. Jovi said, "How would you know, Mark? As a firefighter, you sleep during." Yes, but we get paid to wake up, right? So that's what I always say. Yes, we do sleep, but we do get paid to wake up, and that's the I don't know if dangerous is the right word, but that's the part that's really not good for your health, right? You're sleeping and then you get this alarm at whatever 2 in the morning, and you got to jump out of bed and kind of think right away, like what's the address, what's the call, what am I gonna, what we're gonna do, and you got to get moving, right? So that is the struggle, and definitely takes away from uh, your life in a sense, right? So I'm ready to step away. Even like I said, being off this whole time, from the shoulder injury and whatnot, and seeing what other opportunities are out there, it's definitely very eye opening for me. Flavio, rewards coming to everyone. Not sure what he means by that. I told Flavio he's not able to win the free ticket. I told him uh, needing cops to tell you scene safety. Jovi, there he is, man. Always chiming in. He couldn't even cut it. That's why he had to quit being a police officer. He's a property manager now, which is probably more dangerous. Hey, what's up, Val? Big Val's tuning in. I know Big Val's working on that property he finally got the tenant out of and looking to try and refinance out of that. So hopefully Val can resolve those issues pretty soon. Remind everyone tonight's the Wednesday accountability call, probably the biggest one we do have in the school community. I think that's the biggest turnout usually. So Frank's, what time is it? 6 p.m. Pacific, right? I think that's
yeah.
yeah. So it always has a good turnout there. So let's see what else can we talk about. I know staying
Did
busy.
did y'all see the Zuber video? I think he did it maybe a couple days ago, where I think it's Convoy has rates in the fives. I was kind of surprised by that. I said, "Oh wow, this is lower than I thought."
You're gonna trigger Flavio right now because Flavio just
Oh,
closed with them. His was in the sixes, but
oh,
I actually just closed on my property. I signed yesterday, and I used Convoy. Mine was 6.69, I believe. But
mm,
I think what they did talk about is probably best case scenario, right? Whatever
yeah.
800 credit score, maybe 20% down. But anyways, that's probably the best case scenario. So that um product is probably out
It
there.
was best case scenario. It was one special type of mortgage. It wasn't a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. I forget what it was. But yeah, there was a couple other stipulations to it too, which kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to get that type of loan.
So yes, Flavio, I do agree. I would love to have Val on one of my lives. I just need to
Yeah.
hear that voice. It's music to my ears. But he keeps avoiding me. But so there's Lynn's YouTube channel also. So like I said, go check out one of her recent videos talking about the burr she completed. But here is the big question, Curtis. Lynn is asking, have you given up on Pittsburgh? What about all the single ladies there?
I don't know if I have given up on Pittsburgh. I need more money. That is the challenge, right? Is at the end of the day, I can be tapped into as many networks. I can have as much deal flow, but if I don't have any money or reserves or anything like that, I don't think I'd really feel comfortable to do so. Be it a house hack here or closing in Pittsburgh, right? Especially with Pittsburgh, I'd want a little extra funds just on hand because it'd be a new thing, right? And so I'm more focusing on the active income side at the moment. I haven't thrown away the idea of outside of the state, especially talking to more. Um, Experienced investors, it'd be great to kind of diversify or keep my loan to value of my loans kind of at a right point, right? Because if I house hack again, I'm kind of highly like levered. But if I can put 20% down or 25% down in another state, my leverage is not as risky there. And so I'm open minded, but I need more active income.
Hmm, that's a good way to look at it.
Hmm.
Charles says, talk about Bright Investor. I don't know. Do either of you use Bright Investor? Yeah, Bright Investor. Donato Callahan is one of the CEOs or founders of it. It's a great product. I also had Coffee Closers from Ariel before, but I believe she sold off that company. She's doing a lot of other tech stuff, and it's pretty cool. She had a YouTube video. I forgot who I sent it to, but she had like AI prompts. She's using AI to almost do rehab costs. So to figure out costs of rehab using AI prompts, and she says like, oh, like whatever 5 to 10 minutes, and you can get an idea. So you upload photos or whatnot, and you use these certain prompts, and you can get a good idea of what your cost might be. But yeah, Bright Investor is very cool. You can get market rents, kind of like population growth. I think it's like rent to ownership in those areas, the zip codes. I think there's a paid feature though that you can also get the owner's information, kind of like a skip tracing. So there are different features, and they're always updating, and they always have office hours weekly, maybe twice a week, but I know weekly they have office hours, and I know Chester and Jason always tune into
Hmm.
those, and Donato's like super, super helpful. You can email them, kind of get one-on-one help there. Jovi says, yeah, I think you have to buy down the rate also with Convoy. Craig says, I closed with Convoy in November in Pittsburgh on 9 duplexes and got 7.375. And yes, Craig, we always kind of talk about the side-by-side duplexes, and, they're kind of that holy grail a lot of times. And, it's very hard to come by. But yes, Craig got like 9 in a package, like side-by-side duplexes. So he took them all.
Was that a
So
buyout of someone's portfolio, or what was that?
yes, if I believe, I want to say he got it off of Craigslist, if I recall what he told me. But yeah, I
Huh.
gotta look. But yeah, if Craig, if you're still here, if you want to clarify that. But yeah, Craig's got some good sized portfolio in Pittsburgh. He won't be able to make it to the event. I did tell him about the event Jack is having, but he will not be able to make it. Hopefully, Craig might be able to make the ORAD event in Vegas, though. It's a lot closer for him. So I'd love to meet him in person. Lynn says, Curtis, are you going to the meetup in September with Jack and all the peeps there?
I would like to. I kind of have to balance. Do I go to that? Do I go to the bigger pockets event? I am going to the ORAT one. So I only have so many days that I can call out of work. So it's like, okay, at some point I actually will get sick too, right? These darn kids are germ like machines. So I have to balance on what events that I attend or days that I take. So I'm not quite sure.
You should show up
Uh,
late to mine. J- j-
uh,
because
Flavio says,
Saturday honestly is a big day anyway.
Okay.
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Friday is just kind of hang out, meet up, talk to some contractors type of stuff, and Saturday's the big day about the areas and stuff. And as we're driving around, since you're so tall, I can use you as a bodyguard from all the grease that Flavio's scared of.
That's the single ladies day also he has planned. Flavio says, stay in Washington, Curtis. Pittsburgh, you would need a vest. Um, Jovi says, Flavio, a side gig for you can be buying vests and renting them to ORAT members. Flavio is still trying to probably bum a ride off of you, Curtis, to the ORAT event in February. He's still hoping
No,
you
man.
drive.
Nah, man, I am not driving, but Flavia, I'm not sure if you're friends with Jesse Lee on Facebook, but he has a bulletproof vest that says "rents due" on it, and so
Who's this?
Jesse Lee, he actually owns the brokerage that I
Oh,
like work for, but he is hilarious.
Is he in the ORAT community or no? He just
He's big on like Facebook and stuff
I might have to look him up then.
like that.
Yeah. So how much people you think have committed to so far, Jack, to your event? Is there you have kind of a head count, a soft head count?
Roughly, roughly people have committed like 5 to 10. And the other thing is, I'm trying to figure out how to have the links. Like, and that's one reason why I'm a little bit slow in trying to get the itinerary fully put together. Is because I don't want to upfront all the costs for everything. I kind of, other than like the bus, obviously, that when you have to. But I want to try and have like links that people can click on and just like a la carte their package. So like if you don't want to go on the Gateway Clipper, which the Gateway Clipper is a boat that goes on all three rivers. That way you got if you want to skip that, don't get a ticket for it. Simple enough. And if you wanted to do or and then Saturday is obviously the bus, but you don't feel like doing the Mexican war streets on Sunday, don't get a ticket for it. You know, it's kind of going to be like more of like I'm trying to get set up to be like more of an a la carte type of thing.
Hmm.
All right, cool. Craig says, yeah, he entered into contract to buy 18 duplexes in Shaler. His brother bought 9 and he bought 9. They're all 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Most have built-in garages. We bought the duplexes from the family who built the duplexes back around 1970. Yeah, so Craig, like I said, Craig is in Arizona. I guess the wife kind of not gave him, but there were certain areas in the Midwest, I think that Craig presented to her. And out of the ones that he presented, Pittsburgh was the one that she felt comfortable investing in out of whatever other options. So that's how he decided on Pittsburgh. And yeah, he's doing really well there. So thanks for tuning in, Craig. Like I said, hopefully you can be in Vegas at the already event in February. And yeah, so I guess both of you are going. Ray's bringing his wife, right? So Curtis, who you gonna? Flavia's looking for a roommate in Vegas.
I don't know. I might have enough like miles or points or whatever that I can splurge and get my own space. We'll and we'll see how that one goes.
Do you think you'll be able to get anyone from your brokerage to go? Like, is anyone that you're working with maybe kind of getting into that investing side before because of you being around them?
Oh yeah, so with my brokerage, pretty much everyone that works there, or is like a license actually is an investor. The brokerage kind of leans towards that because of the low cost, the you kind of do what you want as long as you don't break in the law type of deal. So pretty much everyone there is in the investing world. I don't know if anyone will make it down. We actually have a lot of kind of groups like this up here. Like James Gainer's group is based out of here. Thatch's group is based out of here. And so a lot of times folks that want to spend on stuff will just do one of those bigger programs.
Flavio says, I'm getting interested in Pittsburgh. Flavio, you are not allowed to for all the shit you talk about Pittsburgh. You're not allowed to invest there. So are you guys so who are you guys maybe hoping to see? So now that Zuber is going to be announcing some of the speakers and whatnot, has he mentioned who is the because he has 2 headliners, right? He said, did he mention any of them? I forget.
I don't think he has,
I don't think he
but
has either.
I think he said he's going to in like September or sometime soon.
Who are you guys hoping for? Is there anyone on the top of mind for you folks?
I think for me, I'm just honestly kind of the same mindset as last year, where you know the event is awesome. It is absolutely great. It's fantastic. But I'm again more excited to meet the people of the community and stuff, and see you guys and all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping Frank will be able to make it this year. Mikey better not fall off another bicycle.
Yeah, Jovi says he thinks he saw something about Pace and his wife. So that might be one of the headliners, right? Oh, and Proof Oak says, Flavio, are you going to invest for the opportunities in Pittsburgh or the single ladies? Anybody for you, Curtis, that you'd like to see, like that really stands out for you to be one of the headline speakers in Vegas?
I think a couple of the speakers that I think might be there, I've actually met before. So like Cody Davis, I don't know for sure if he will be there, but I'm seeing him more and more on the channel, and he's always great to talk to. Um, that would be very interesting. He definitely brings a different energy than some of the speakers that we've had, and so it's kind of like infectious. So that'd probably be a good one too. And while I've seen him and I've met him, I just think for our group, that energy can kind of be good.
Yeah, let's see. Ike is tuning in. So Ike is working on a turnover while listening. New tenants Friday. Yeah, and Ike did have a good post in the school community talking about, I believe it was about AC units with his tenants. But Ike, will you be in Vegas in February? You weren't able to attend last year. Are you planning to be there in February? But yeah, I'm interested to see who the headliners are. I do believe I think I heard something about Pace. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see who the other headliner may be.
If that happens, I'm very excited for the interaction between Pace and Dion.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But it should be good. I mean, I think it'll be interesting. I think hopefully, I think it sounds like a lot of people in the community. I think they're going to be speaking there also, right? I think he's trying to get more people involved from the community speaking. I think that's where the Sunday lives are going to be focused on to meet some of the speakers. So I think that'll be super cool to get some people that have come through the pipeline, I guess, in a sense, and be on stage and talk about what they're working on. I like I said, I think I like that there's a lot of people doing a lot of different things, and I definitely I know Cody's been confirmed as one of the speakers, right? So I think I like it because of the transition that Cody's doing, right? He's gone and he's trying to refine his portfolio and whatnot. Let's see, Jason Davis. I wouldn't invest in any major U.S. city. People flee them because they're too dangerous and they don't enforce the law, catch and release, even with child predators and gang members who just empty their mag. Hmm? Yeah, I mean there is some risk to involved in investing in real estate, right? So it's not for everyone, definitely, and that's why some people do stocks. Some people do crypto, Bitcoin, but yeah, you got to find what you're comfortable with, right? Hey, what's up, Hugo? Stay Winnings here.
Yeah,
Um,
I think for the event and kind of that lead up to the event, while I do enjoy it, I think it'd be advantageous for me to make maybe more content around it. Not a ton, right? Because you still want to enjoy the people that are there. But I feel like that's kind of where I slacked a little bit and last time.
Jason Davis says, yes, smaller, fast-growing towns are better. Stay Winning says Los Angeles sucks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely feel like I said, I think from year one to year two, I enjoyed year one, the event. I was kind of like, year two, I wasn't as excited attending. And then
And then
after
you got to meet me, and it changed your whole trip around, and your whole emphasis on life changed after meeting me, and
Well, I
it was
wouldn't go
great.
that far. I wouldn't go that far with that, but definitely year two, made me realize how it's not so much the speakers and whatnot. It is to kind of Jack's point, is just meeting these other people that we haven't met yet, meet them in person. But just the community, right? And like I said, even for me, like I'm not paying. I mean, I shouldn't say it, but I'm not really paying that much attention while people are speaking at the event. Kind of just
Well,
networking with
obviously,
other
you
people.
got yelled at the most about being too loud in the back.
That was not me. That was a lot of other individuals that were speaking loud. But and yes, he is trying to address that and have those noise curtains, I believe, put in for this year. But the event just keeps evolving, and I think as the community grows, it's going to be a lot more fun. I think is your guys' plans, Curtis? I forget you stayed about a week also, right? What, 6 days last year?
Um, yeah, I think I got it. I think I was there probably 5 days. Yeah.
Jack, I mean, what's your guys' plans this year? You guys plan to stay a little bit longer, same amount of time? I know Kenny, who just tuned in, morning Kenny, they only stayed, I think, believe the weekend, right? I think they had some family stuff. They came in maybe late Friday or even early Saturday, but they were only there for like the Saturday, Sunday, I believe, which is, I think they missed out on a lot of the interaction, right?
I think ultimately my goal is right now, as I would do almost the exact same thing as last year. Try to get out there Wednesday evening. Meet up with whoever's out there and go to Dion's midnight at Denny's, and then hang out with you guys Thursday while doing a few other things. Because if Cynthia's there, she's not going to want to do real estate the entire time, unless of course she finds someone that she finds hilarious. Then she'll hang out. But
Uh, Hey, actually, Jack, so what
I,
is
I
your
I think I'll
plans
probably
for
stay to Tuesday.
Valentine's?
What's
What
that?
is your plans for Valentine's?
Nothing. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We'll be with you guys.
All right. Well, hopefully you discussed that with her first.
No, I mean we've been together for 10 years. We've never celebrated Valentine's Day ever.
All right, good. That's good. Let's see. Josh is tuning in. Josh, will you be there for year three? I know, Josh, you went there year one. You did not attend year two. Are you going to be there for year three? Flavio, how close are you to the giveaway? Does someone here have family members? Ask them to subscribe to this channel. I told you, Flavio, you're not eligible to win the free ticket because it will look like it's rigged if somehow you end up with it. Um, Mark is not that funny. What are you talking about, Jovi? But let's see. Somebody just messaged me also. Okay, so yeah. I forget what I got. I don't know if am I going live tomorrow? I don't even know. No, tomorrow's my recording with Zuber. And if you guys haven't noticed, Zuber has really, like I said, he's changed his titles and captions, right? He's really kind of gone
Hmm.
back to less clickbaity, and man, the comments and views are way down. So I
Mm,
know he's not getting those kind of pushback comments as much. So it's been interesting. Because I've been going through the videos and comments, the past so many months, and yeah, the it's way down, the views and
mm,
the comments. So I guess the title and caption does play a big role on how much people tune in. Late start wealth. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. I just want to remind everyone tonight, Wednesday, right? Frank's accountability call, which is probably the biggest call for people to tune into. Hey, Charles says it's Mrs. McCune's tenure. Weld, I think wedding anniversary, but it could be welding. I don't know, but
well, congrats.
either way, yeah.
Either way, yeah.
But yeah, Charles, what is your guys' plans to do at the event? Because I think there's three couple. I think Brandon Potts, that might be their wedding anniversary. Also, he was saying, and I think someone else might have a wedding anniversary. Maybe Jared. I
I
forget.
thought I thought it was Jared.
Yeah.
Mm,
But yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do. I wonder what I'm sure Zuber's gonna try and plan something. But that's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how the tickets sell because of Valentine's falling on that weekend. How that's gonna be, because I know like Joe V. Hopefully Joe V is gonna attend, but I think it'd be difficult to get his wife there with Valentine's falling on that Saturday. Let's see. Josh said he's gonna try and make it. Jovi says, for the ORAT members, does Zuber's titles make a difference for you? Oh, anyone? What do you guys think? Does it matter for you guys? The titles that he puts out there?
I honestly, so like when it comes to Zuber's channel and anyone I follow that talks about real estate, so like Mark's channel, Zuber's, Dion's, Matt's, and like there's a bunch of other channels I follow, but like those are kind of the big ones. I don't actually look at what the title says. I just like, oh, they put something, click, download, 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 and that way I just listen to it all night while I'm at work and supposed to be working, but not.
I'm just saying I'd rather have the clickbait because it gives me more comments to work with. Like right now, it's like hard to find comments that are engaging or kind of a little pushback. So that's the hard part.
Well, Flavio said he would help. He would help you out, but just don't kick him out. Now, Flavio, I think you need to get like a burner account. Just get like a fake one.
Yeah. Flavio has to get rid of his flip phone first, but um, Flabulous Mama, yeah. Charles's wife Carrie says yes. You better not forget that. I guess she's talking about the anniversary. Late start. Well, either way, it's a solid 10 years. Charles says they got married in Vegas. She's hoping not embarrassing her. That's the plan. She's hoping, but Jen, hey, morning. So the ladies of ORAC. Oh no, wait. I thought there was none this week. I forgot. Maybe was it next week or this week? But I know one week there was no ladies of ORAC call, so maybe that's why Jen's tuning in now. Jovi says I agree. I don't care what they're titled. Yeah, Jen says she doesn't care also, but I don't care either. But I'm saying it's harder work for me to find comments to use on the Thursday recordings because there's just not as much comments and people aren't. What I did notice though is he gets most of the pushback comments on his daily financial news. Those are the ones
Oh,
where you
really?
find, yeah, just because he's talking more about like the economy and whatnot. So there's more people pushing back on that point.
Mhm.
Hey, Ivan, I haven't seen you here before. I have seen your name on the Facebook, so I know you're in the ORAC community, but thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe. I'll also put Jack and Curtis's channel right after this, so you can go subscribe there. Yes, Sydney has great jeans, right? So that's a big issue right now. Sydney Sweeney's commercial wearing the jeans has caused quite a stir out there in the social media, right? Have you guys paid attention to that? Probably
Mm-mm.
not, right? Yeah, her jeans commercial. I think it was American Eagle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I think
causing.
I
Yeah,
have seen some stuff, but for when that stuff pops up, I just try to scroll fast. That way, the algorithm won't send me more.
let's see. How close to 1K are you? I am. Last I look, I'm about 30 away. And like the joke was, I told Frank, I said when I was in Japan, I was getting subscribers way faster when I was gone, and Frank told me not to come back. He says stay away. But yeah, it was weird. I was getting a lot more subscribers when I was actually gone. So maybe putting out less content does work a little bit better. But let's see. There is so Ivan, if you haven't subscribed, there's also Curtis's channel and Jack's YouTube channel. So go please subscribe and then come back in. Ivan, will you be in Vegas for the ORAD event? Or even you, Hugo? You went to year one, you didn't attend year two. Are you considering showing up for year three at the one rental at a time event? Let's see. So you guys are both no VIP year three. That's your guys' plans?
Yeah, I'm probably. I would say 90% somewhat chance that I'm not gonna go VIP.
I'm interested to see because when he was talking to Luke Carlos's son, they are trying to come up, I think, with more ideas on what they can give away for the VIP, like whether it's merchandise, limited edition shirts or VIP shirts or whatnot. So I think they are trying to come up with different things to give to the VIP members.
It's not
All
even
right.
just so much that for me. It's just since I'm buying two tickets, I don't know, and I don't know. I think because I'm buying two tickets, I can't rationalize trying to fork out that much extra money when I don't know. It's like you have plenty of opportunity to meet everyone, and I think that's
Mhm.
more important to me. Is just trying to meet people.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anyone else hasn't subscribed to Hugo's Stay Winning Money podcast, go check it out. He's doing really well. He's kicking ass on YouTube. So go follow him there. Maybe one day Hugo will be a speaker. Yep, you do long-term rentals and flips in California. He also has been interviewed by Zuber. I do not have the link for that interview, but I'm sure you can find it on Zuber's channel.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I was buying subscribers in Japan. Flavio missed me too much, but he was texting me every day. When you coming back, man? I miss your lives. Jovi, we mentioned this yesterday. I love Zuber doesn't sell at the event, but I think it's awesome. He's interested in supporting kids and their business. Ali's, yep. So Ali's a new member in school. He said, "What's he's an investor in Detroit." He said, "What's the difference between VIP and normal tickets? I've never been to the ORAD meetup before, and seriously considering going next year." Well, let's. I'll go after since I did have the VIP ticket, so you guys can maybe give a little bit more in depth on your guys' thoughts on it first.
Yeah, so either way that you choose, I would definitely go first. First, just make sure that you go. Now, the difference between the VIP and the normal is that the VIP is gold, and you get your own like private lunch and stuff like that. I think you get a little bit more interaction with like the speakers, and which if that's what you're into, great. I did the normal ticket last year, and I was able to talk to people that I wanted to talk to. Yeah, I think this normal one is fine unless you have a specific reason for the VIP.
Yeah, I think honestly, and well, the other thing is the VIPs have the better seats, and you can sit up on the I don't know what you call it, the balcony or whatever, and that's cool also. But I don't know. I mean, I'm so used to standing all day that like the more comfortable chairs don't really sway me one way or the other. And that's kind of another reason why I'm not like, ooh, VIP, because like me and Cynthia, we both stand a lot, and like where most people would sit there and watch a movie, we both stand through half of it because we're just so used to standing ridiculous amount of hours. So that's why I kind of would rather have the cheaper ticket because I'm sure during the event I'm going to be moving around and stuff. So
Or you can be a big bully like Curtis and just sit in the VIP section when he doesn't have a VIP ticket. No, but all in honesty, it's yes, there is a VIP section, but nobody's like policing it. A lot of people kind of just come and go, sit upstairs. But the biggest thing is you do have a lunch and dinner with all the speakers. So if you kind of want that individual time to communicate with these people, you'd have that opportunity to sit. I believe like an hour half with these different speakers and have kind of your own conversations. But my biggest thing is a lot of times these speakers are walking around anyways during the event. So if you did want to reach out to them or connect with them, you can find the time. And sometimes some of these speakers also come out with us after and hang out with us, and socialize at the after event. So yeah, it's really up to you. I mean, I think it's if you want that kind of one-on-one time, and but it also is a hit or miss, right? You could sit at a different table because you can sit wherever you want, and just so happens maybe the table you sit at, the person that you want to speak with is not there or on a different table. um but yeah, it's just I mean, I personally don't think you're going to get that much more value from the VIP. I just do it more for support for Zuber. He does a lot for me, so I just do it to help the cause, I guess.
Yeah,
um
I think if it was another event or another group, then maybe the VIPs don't have as much access. But um, with our group, they're very personable. They walk in the crowd, right in between speakers. They're all kind of moving about. They may step into a back room. So I I just think with this one, there's not as much separation. There's some events that I go to. It's like they're the president, right? You can't ever go talk to these people unless you are in the VIP.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe V says I'm gonna steal Mark's VIP pass. Flavio says VIP is a separation. It should be something in the middle. Hmm. Not sure what he means by that. Ali says, thanks, guys. Appreciate the feedback. So, but like you said, the Curtis said, the big thing is hopefully you'll be there. I think that's the biggest thing. Just
Hmm.
hopefully you can find the time. And if you can, I would try to plan like arrive on Wednesday, leave on even Tuesday if you can, but I would try to, because there's way more interaction, like before the event, and even the day after the event was nice, and you don't have to rush, right? If you're not leaving on Monday, then
Hmm.
like Sunday, because Sunday everyone kind of usually goes out, like I said, even some of the speakers. So if you can do that,
Yeah,
I think
pro tip: don't take the cheap early flight out on Monday morning. I did that. It was awful. The fact that we even made it to the airport in time was a miracle. But I recommend the first flight out of Vegas on Monday morning.
yeah, I was thinking about on Monday doing the red eye again, but I was planning on wherever I stay booking till Tuesday, so I'm not sitting in the lobby for like several hours. That way, I could squeeze in a nap.
yeah, I think last year I arrived Wednesday. So I don't know, Ali, if you know. So usually Dion, they had the midnight at Denny's Wednesday and Thursday nights. Dion was under the weather last year, so he didn't. He attended the Wednesday one. He didn't come to Thursday, but I think like I said, I think he noticed that there's already a lot of good networking going on. So he didn't really feel the need that he had to force himself to be there. In the sense, we have kind of pushed him to know that we would like the location changed though to a different Denny's, because there's one right in Fremont, which is a lot closer and more convenient. So I think that's the plan for next year, is the Denny's meetups to be at the one in Fremont. And Flavio says, "You drive back with me, Curtis." Um, yeah, well, like I said, this was a good one. I think hopefully people got some good takeaways on not feeling overwhelmed and being too busy with things, and just kind of finding that time to take a break, be around the right community. I think I noticed, Jack, maybe when things are getting too much for you, you put a nice post out there to kind of put your feelings out there, get some feedback, kind of let people know what you're doing. Oh, Late Star Well says thoughts on staying on the strip verse off.
No, I think majority of people stayed in Fremont, and it
Yeah,
just was so much easier to meet up, to do things kind of spur of the moment because we were all just right there, right? There was no more than a 5 minute walk to go meet up with people. It was very easy to change plans. Whereas if you're on the strip, you got to
it's
Uber
about like what
wherever
20-minute
folks
drive
are.
over to Fremont Street where everyone else is.
Yeah, yeah, and those Ubers are not cheap.
Yeah, and the other big thing is too, if you're gonna come, make sure you don't repeat Curtis's mistake last year and stay at the Golden Nugget where they give you earplugs next to your on your nightstand and say, "Hey, caution! It's gonna be loud here."
Well, they gave earplugs to Ray because he said Curtis snores like a bear.
Oh, so that base was Curtis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, John. I forget, where did John stay last year? I forget, but a lot of people did stay at the downtown
John
Grand, which I
Morris.
yeah, was he at the Grand? He was, right?
He was with us. Yeah.
Well, he was with us that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm definitely the downtown Grand is super convenient, way cheaper, more affordable, and it's just so the event look no, so yeah, Ali, the event is not on a strip. It's at the Blind Center. It's a really nice facility. It's actually a pretty big facility. It's always there. Year one, year two has both been there. And that's also why Frank, old guy REI, if you don't know, is selling fundraiser shirts. He sells the ORAT t-shirt. I found my tribe, and he's trying to donate proceeds to the Blind Center where the event's at. And let me see. Hold on real quick. I will show. Here is the front of the shirt. And here is the back of the shirt. It's the I Found My Tribe. So yeah, definitely. If you haven't picked one up, I will put the PayPal link, and you can order from Frank, and the proceeds go to the Blind Center. So hold on, let me put the PayPal link here, and yeah, and make sure you get the men's version. Flavio ordered the girl version of the shirt. So, but yeah, John says downtown Grand beyond the 14th floor or higher. Yes, it does get kind of noisy on Fremont. It does have that one bar right across the street. I forgot what was it called again, the one we went to. Kind of a rowdy place. Remember that one? The when you walk in, they're like basically
Yeah, I
Oh,
know which one you were talking about. It was that biker bar, but I
yeah,
can't remember the name of it.
yeah. It seemed fun, but it was it I don't know.
it's a different thing, right? If you're just kind of hang out, talk, do all that stuff, that's not the spot.
Definitely. But yeah, downtown Grand, Flavio, yeah. Flavio actually called Frank. Hey, did you send me the girls on an accident for the ORAT shirt? Um, Unfortunately, Carrie, yes, that is the one thing. That is the only color of the shirt. And that is some people have
When you get
asked.
it, it's more gray.
Hmm.
Oh, yes, that's what you're asking. Yeah, it's a gray shirt. Yeah, so I wish there was a black shirt. But yes,
I
that is
like
the
black.
only. Yes, and so he did come up. His other shirt he posted on Facebook is black. So I'm wondering. I think the colors didn't work out. He was saying for the ORAT
Mm.
one, but yeah. Everyone, this was a good turnout. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Any final words from you guys? Anything else you guys want to shout out real quick? No.
Oh.
No, I'm good. I think we covered everything. This is a good one.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jack. Any more lives this week? What do you tomorrow? What's going on with you? Nothing.
There'll probably be a live today, and there'll definitely be a live on Friday. But I think my next step here is to have a nap.
Cool. Curtis,
Uh,
anything else? Anything on the YouTube? Any interviews coming up for you?
no interviews, maybe some clips talking about the Geo Farm, and well, once I start getting these open houses going, I'll probably start to post those a little bit.
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Be on the lookout for the ORAT event tickets. I believe Friday they might be coming out, so be on the lookout for that. And everyone, I will be back Friday with Jeremy Taggart, Rockstar agent in Pittsburgh, and Sarah Bloom will be back on. She used to be in Pittsburgh working with Jeremy folks, but now she is a property manager and agent in Detroit, and she's going to have to defend herself because someone made a comment that Detroit is horrible. They said that is the hood and you don't want to invest in there. They commented on one of my reels, and now Sarah's going to have to defend herself and her position on why Detroit is a solid market. But I'll see everyone Friday, and thanks for tuning in, everyone.